that can be used by cells, the microscopic building blocks of your body. Cells need those molecule-sized morsels, known as nutrients, for energy, growth, and development.
Even before the first bite enters your mouth, the digestive system springs into action. The sight or smell of food, or even just the thought of it, can start your mouth watering.
But that's not just water. It's saliva, released from salivary glands in your cheeks and jaws. Filled with chemicals called enzymes, saliva begins the breakdown of food while it's still in the mouth.
And your body's making a lot of it, more than 1.5 liters a day.
In order for the chemical-rich saliva to do its job, it needs the mechanical action of your teeth and tongue. Like a spoon, the tongue mixes the enzymes in, while the teeth grind the food into tiny pieces in a process called mastication.
Better known as chewing. Down the hatch, or make that the esophagus. That's the stretchy tube where food enters when you swallow.
A wave-like motion known as peristalsis squeezes the lumps of soft food toward the stomach, kind of like toothpaste being squeezed through the tube. Peristalsis moves food from your mouth to your stomach, whether you're right side up or upside down. Bit by bit, the esophagus allows food to the stomach.
They talk about acid rain. Usually in the stomach are brewing. For one thing, there's no hydrochloric acid.
And acid is a very harsh liquid that can break down other substances, like certain foods.
The acidity is so intense that the stomach has to protect its wall with a thick layer of mucus. Otherwise, the acid can damage the stomach itself.
There are also enzymes in the stomach that get to work on breaking them down. This mix of hydrochloric acid and enzymes is called gastric juice. Churning and contracting, the stomach cleanses its increasingly soggy contents. And happens all that mixing can make. Sometimes you can even hear the stomach at work.
Hold on to your history books. It's a body blast from the past. The first scientist that recorded his observations of the digestive system was Dr. William Beaumont, Army surgeon. In 1822, he was stationed in the Great Lakes region of North America. There, Beaumont treated a Canadian fur trader named Alexis St. Martin for a gunshot wound to the abdomen. The hole was bigger than a man's hand. Dry as a pipe, Beaumont couldn't get St. Martin's stomach to close up completely.
Over the next 11 years, Beaumont took advantage of this unusual situation. In a series of experiments, he tied string onto various kinds of food, like beef, cabbage, and bread, and inserted them directly into St. Martin's stomach. Then, he took his samples out every hour or two to see how they were digesting.
That sounds pretty bizarre.
More like revolutionary. It was the first time anyone had ever actually observed human digestion, as it happens in the stomach. One of the most important discoveries that Beaumont made is that gastric juices can dissolve certain foods.
What actually is responsible for chemical digestion in the stomach? Most people think it's the acid. But is it the acid, the enzymes, or a combination of the two? I've got a juicy busybody experiment to find out.
For this experiment, you will need safety goggles and gloves, nasal world, and an adult to supervise you.
That's because you're going to use acid in this experiment. 0.6% hydrochloric acid to be exact. You'll also need an enzyme called pepsin, gastric juice,
which is a mixture of equal amounts of hydrochloric acid and pepsin solutions.
and you'll need distilled water.
The distilled water is our control, the standard that we'll use to compare our results to. Other materials that you'll need are a hot plate, 4 test tubes labeled 1 through 4, a 500 milliliter beaker half full of water, 4 small pieces of hard-boiled egg whites,